Hello and welcome to our latest unboxing video. I'm Eliza. I'm here at the Hatfield Public Library with a big box of adult books. I think fiction, nonfiction, I don't know, maybe something in between. Let's see. We have The Last Rose of Shanghai, and this is by Weina Randel, a powerful story of a Shanghai heiress and Jewish refugee. 1940. Okay, so yes, it sounds like those are two different characters. I guess that makes sense. They couldn't be the same character. And yes, they fall in love, but their differences seem insurmountable. The Other Family. This definitely looks like a domestic thriller. This is by Wendy Corsi Staub. Um, I can't think of what her other books. So, as so often is the case, this starts out in a perfect home with a perfect family, husband, wife, two kids, dog, making a fresh start in Brooklyn. Peculiar things begin to happen. There was a previous family murdered in their house. Oh, this is interesting because it's definitely suspense, but is it like a supernatural thing with a ghost? I don't think so. My guess is that there's not a real ghost, that maybe there's like dark secrets. J.A. Jance, Nothing to Lose, J.P. Beaumont novel, and just like a super popular thriller suspense series. Here's a change. This is The Last Slave Ship. I have heard some really just good reviews of this book. It's the true story of how Clotilda was found, her descendants, and her extraordinary reckoning by Ben Raines. And I feel like the title is very effective. This is about the last ship and that took enslaved people to America. And then they found it, and then also, I guess they talk about the descendants of these people, because I think they came over even. I don't know, it doesn't say what year the ship came over, but it was very late, and so I think they tried to go back, and then they couldn't go back. Uh, Aftermath, Life in the Fallout of the Third Reich, 1945 to 1955 by Harald Jahner. This is another one, sometimes we get books that are a little more on the academic side, very well reviewed, and a lot of people are very interested in World War II and what happened in Germany afterwards. So this just sort of goes through what was happening in Germany during that time. Wow. Spent 48 weeks on the bestseller list in Germany. That's impressive. We have a new Chuck Klosterman, the 90s book. I'm like a 90s kid, so this is, I mean, I wasn't born in the 90s, but I grew up in the 90s, so I definitely remember those sorts of phones. It just seems very strange to me that someone's writing a book about the 90s. Um, um, yeah, I mean, I guess it's just all the stuff that happened in the 90s and how things have changed since then. Yeah, I mean, Chuck Klosterman is a really like, easy guy to read. So Dean Koontz, Quicksilver. There he is on the back with his lovely golden retriever. Um, is this part of a series? That's always the question. I don't think so. This is about a guy who was abandoned at 3 days old in a desert highway in Arizona, and he has a strange magnetism. I think it might actually be like an actual, like he can attract metal. Um, Black Cake. I'm actually reading this. It's by Charmaine Wilkerson. Is this another one? I can't remember the ones we bought duplicates for. So if this is a duplicate, sorry, but this is about a children of a family from the Caribbean who live in California, and their mother dies, and her last request is that her two estranged siblings eat a piece of her famous black cake together. But I think it takes them it takes them a while to be able to sit down together, and they have to go through sort of the family history that they maybe both didn't know. Julie Atsuka, The Swimmers, a novel. I love this is so small. Oh, she wrote The Buddha in the Attic. I think that book. We might have read it for book club. It might have been one of those ones that was told in first person plural, which is something that I always think is fun, like the we form. Da da da. About a group of obsessed recreational swimmers and what happens when a crack forms at the bottom of their local pool. So this sounds like it might also be sort of a group narrative. Oh, look. It's talking about the fast lane people versus the medium lane people versus the slow lane people. I think people who go swimming at the Y are going to be find common ground there. Rosie Walsh, The Love of My Life. Great cover, great title. Um, wow, gosh, I have to say I'm a little surprised because it says that it's a thriller, but the cover doesn't really give me a thriller vibe. Let's see. Oh my gosh. Okay, so maybe I guess the title, The Love of My Life, is a little bit like question mark. The love of my life question mark. And so this is about a woman with a husband and a daughter, but everything she's told them about herself is a lie. And when she gets sick, he starts to discover the truth. So maybe like a thriller with like a little more of like I don't know. The Roughest Draft by Austin Siegemund Broka and Emily Wibberley. See, two authors, they just have their names separate. It says a romance for the books. So it's about two people who were former co-writing literary darlings, but then they end their partnership on bad terms. But now for some reason, they have to write a book together, and it's a romantic book, and they have to live together in Florida while they write it. Sounds like a good setup for a romantic comedy situation. Preston and Child, Diablo Mesa. Here they are on the back. This is, oh yeah, did we get the audiobook for this? This is Wealthy and Eccentric Billionaire, Archaeological Institute, UFOs. So much going on with this book. It sounds very exciting. Lucy Foley, The Paris Apartment. I really enjoyed her first two books. They're the kind that maybe are the kind I would say, like, just read them really fast, enjoy them. Maybe don't think too much about whether there are any plot holes. And I think I'll listen to one on audio. Anyways, I really enjoyed them, and I'm looking forward to a new one by her. Three more books. Let's see. We have The Saints of Swallow Hill by Donna Everhart. This is nice. This is a paperback. And it's got a nice textured cover too. I actually really like everything about this cover. It's very beautiful. Yeah, I would be really surprised if they were like thriller with this one, but no, it's not a thriller for once. It says a lyrical new novel set against the background of the Great Depression, set in the dense pine forests of North Carolina, um, on a turpentine, not a turpentine farm, but I guess like they get it from the trees, and it's about a woman who disguises herself as a man to to keep herself out of prison and goes to work at this place. Sounds useful. Keep the memories, lose the stuff. Declutter, downsize, and move forward with your life by Max Paxton with Jordan Michael Smith. Says host of the Emmy nominated Legacy List. I've never actually heard of that. But look, it just looks like it goes through things one by one and talks about, what you might keep and what you might want to get rid of. Last book. Gotta get it out of the box. The Violin Conspiracy. We just barely had a patron request this, so I know people are wanting this one. And this is by Brendan Slocumb. And because I was talking about it with the patron, I know what it's about. It is about a man who inherits a very, very expensive violin, and he is a violinist. and then he's a black classical musician, a black man, and then the violin gets stolen, and as they're trying to get it back, the people who like owned his family members back during slavery, their descendants say that they should have the violin, which is, first of all, outrageous. So angry about this, that they would even claim that. But it's so it sounds like there's like a little bit of like a mystery thing with trying to get the note back, the violin back, and then also having to fight the legal case, and just trying to get the violin back. I hope he gets his violin back. So that's my big box, which is now empty, and we will be back soon with more.